Hey everyone, August here of Jams and Tea. We're going to be going through something interesting today. This is going to be a bit of a different video. It's a collection video on my cassette tapes. So I am a big fan of cassette tapes. For those who know me, that shouldn't really come as a surprise. I have a decent collection of around 30, so we're going to be going through those. I'm going to talk about the individual tapes themselves, the album, if I like it or not. Spoilers, I universally like these albums. These are going to be just unedited short videos for the channel to get some content out there. These videos are going to be about 10 minutes each. Basically just so I have a time limit and I'm not talking about things forever. But I think that's about enough for the intro of this video. I think we're going to be joined by Molly here in a second. So let's get started, shall we? First thing, ACDC, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. This was one of the first albums I ever listened to on cassette. A lot of this stuff is kind of hand-me-down stuff from my dad, who has a pretty expansive collection of cassettes himself, some of which you're going to be seeing in this video. Some of this stuff is mine. It's really just what was upstairs and nearby, so I'm going to kind of take you through the releases. Nothing too fancy here, just a white tape. ACDC, I don't think they're too bad. I think they've got some fun songs, some fun albums. This is, for me, one of their most fun releases. I think the title track is really good. Really, all of the A-side has a really fun humor to it, like Love at First Feel, Big Balls, Rocker's kind of forgettable, and Problem Child's a lot of fun. The B-side on this, or the 2-side I guess, is notably a little more worn out because my dad would play this side a lot. Because this has, there's gonna be some rockin', Ain't No Fun, Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire, Ride On, and Squealer. Squealer's fun too. But you know, I get the criticism that they're like a bit of a one-trick band, but they did that one trick really well, and I think this is a fun album. Next, a lot of Bjork coming up. First, Homogenic. This album's really cool. I love the really glittery packaging this comes in. The tape itself is a nice kind of crystally gray almost. Of course, this is like, I think, her best album that I've heard from her, although I haven't heard everything. This unfolds out into this really sick design right here. This is like heart something. I'm not quite sure. You've got all the lyrics here. I think this is maybe my favorite of hers. Oh, and there's this little thing. That's cool. Yeah, I was listening to a bit of this recently, and the IDM elements on here, the electronic elements, are really strong for like 97. This sounds remarkably good still, and you know, it's got great songs like Hunter, Unravel, All Neon Like, and that's just the A-side. It's, all things considered, really just a good album. Vesper Teen, I got this for my 18th birthday. Another really good album. This comes in a bit more of a generic white cassette, but what she did to offset the generic color was this like neat little design on both sides. which doesn't repeat. It's like unique on both sides, which is really cool. This interior has this kind of even bigger design, which of course expands upon a lot of the same stuff, although this is mirrored down the middle, so not as cool. But this has a lot of my favorite Bjork songs too. A lot of really good pop sensibilities to a lot of these songs, like It's Not Up to You is really just an exciting song, really fun. I just love a lot of the way she describes, the way can describe romance and feeling a connection to another person. It's really, really something special. Medjula kind of got the run going on here. It's all one big run of albums, yeah. This on a purple cassette. Of course, this album is like entirely a cappella, I think. Not entirely, most of it is. A lot of, yeah, same things I've said about the other two. It's really good. There's a lot of great, just great songs on here. I particularly love Where Is the Line? That uses human voices in just a crazy, crazy way. And there's some tracks with some beatboxing on here, which are also really interesting. Like, I think Razel from The Roots is on here, and it's quite good. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I like all three of them. Finally, for Bjork, Vulnicura. I've heard this like once, and yellow cassette, very nice. And I like it a lot, but I need to listen to it more. Really neat design. And this was kind of a blind buy for me because I just liked everything else I had heard from her. I saw this was like there at the record store, so I bought it, and I need to listen to it more, so maybe you'll hear something about that in the future. But yeah, that's just Bjork. There's a couple other artists who I have just a ton of stuff from, and it's stupefying. Further down, the Bees with Bright Eyes. Lifted, or The Stories in the Soil, Keep Your Ears to the Ground. One of my favorite singer-songwriter albums ever. I think Connor was one of the earliest singer-songwriters I ever really felt a deep connection to, and what he was saying and making points about, and the stories he was conveying. Like Method Acting, I vividly remember listening to the first time. The way the band comes in after the big picture is so good. And of course this has like a Waste of Paint and Bowl of Oranges. Just a couple of my favorite Bright Eyes songs ever. Packaging's a little generic. It's just like no lyrics, just credits. Tape itself is just a nice black, it's really good, and if you haven't heard it, you should. Once I can put it all back in here, I will move on. Actually, I won't. I'll make that the end of this video, but that's essentially what this series is going to be. I hope you enjoyed this, and see you next week whenever I get around to uploading these, or Jake gets to putting these on the channel. I'll see you then. Goodbye.